Hi. Hi again. My name is Robert Thomas DeVincentis, and I'm the historian of historical origins on four subjects: science, nature, man, and God. And you'll find the information under what we call aftermath science, which is in the Book of Kings. And here's a little girl with a telescope. You can find the book. I believe you can find it on Amazon, and it doesn't cost that much. You can get it. Today we'll be discussing natural selection and why that's a false ideology coming from the scientific community, probably around Darwin and these others that believe in evolution. So we'll start right into it. First of all, when God created man, which is a separate creation of him, of God of man in his own image, then he created the animal kingdom as well. So there is a separation there between the animal kingdom and man, even though man is like the beast. In the Bible it says that he's going to die like one too. He has a beginning and an end, and he goes and dies just like any other person or animal that's on the face of the earth. So how did that happen? I mean, obviously there was a fall. We talked about this, that man was created in the image of God, and the woman was taken out of him. And then from then on, they came together and they had their own children. And this is how we come about, the race of the human population through Adam and Eve. And that is the start. So that means that was a miraculous start by God, and in the predisposition of the man and the woman coming together and then making life, usually in 9 to 10 months. That's the model that you have. Then we have the animal kingdom. And by the way, we might say right here, the best genes were given at the time of creation. The whole idea that something became better in time is erroneous. There were animals here that had died out because of the flood, not some astronomical thing where a comet or something hit the earth and killed all the dinosaurs. It certainly didn't kill all the animals, did it? Well, then how could it just kill dinosaurs, single them out? There's just a lot of misinformation. And again, these animals were encapsulated right away, and you can see that. The whole idea that it took millions of years and these kinds of things is another erroneous scientific find. It doesn't take long for things to turn into a concrete form, fossilizing these kinds of things under certain conditions that we find here on Earth. So there you have it. You got kind of a chronological order there, where God created the things here on Earth. And then we have selective where the animals are fighting to mate and maintain their species, and that which is actually erroneous. So when you come right down to it, how can we defunct science? And again, I'm the historian of historical origins. There is nobody like me on the face of the earth. There are other people that talk in the same vein. And again, we all say there's no copyright on truth. So whoever's saying that, but the things that I've been doing, the things that I've said have been around for over 40 years. So that's a long time. And my stuff is already in the Library of Congress. It's all dated and everything else. So natural selection was this whole idea in the animal kingdom that everything was becoming better. When I said that, no, that's not true. The best genes were given at the time of creation. There was no building blocks to make things better. Animals died out, and they became extinct for various reasons, but the main reason was for the flood. And so what they're saying is that when you see deer and the animals fighting so that they can mate, and then the whole idea that the animals or the species is going to get better. Well, that's not true. We have the greatest model here on earth that is contradictory to that. Now, I'm not saying a man couldn't fight for a woman and then take her, but that doesn't make the species any better, because man finds a woman or a woman finds a man most of the time because of their heart. They fall in love and these kinds of things, which has nothing to do about the strength and all these other things, which is a proof, therefore, that the human species has been around as long as the animal kingdom, and we're not getting any better because of what I just said. They're not getting any better. So natural selection in the human race is a folly. So that's how I'm pointing this out to you today. That you have groups of animals that fight each other. That's part of their social statuses and things that they do within themselves to fight and to procreate in that way. So that's how you have it. So anyway, you got a lot of misconception in the world about how old it is and so forth. And of course, again, you're not going to find anybody like me. I said that light and time came about at the same time. As soon as God created something, you have a time table, and that light brings the days and the seasons and the times on the earth, so that we have the Bible that says everything from the very beginning to the very end. Nothing's going to happen in the heavens without the earth. The earth is the main character in God's scheme of things. That He's going to make a new heaven and a new earth, because this earth is basically what He claims to be fading away, and it's a short work. Okay, so how can we put everything into a perspective on the age of the earth and these kinds of things? I mean, everybody's trying their best, creationists and other people and scientists. And, I give them credit. I mean, they come up with these fantastic ideas. But really, when you come down to it, you're looking at the person here that defunct the Big Bang Theory. I'm also the guy that said there's no big black holes. This goes back over 40 years. You're talking to somebody that you're not going to run into. There's other people out there. They talk a good game and what they believe. And a lot of stuff that they're saying is true, along with creationism. However, when God created the world, He created it miraculously. So you're not going to be able to find out a beginning or an end in that, can you? I don't think so. You're not going to find that out. And what about that? So when God said, "Let there be light," you think He had to wait billions of years for the lights to do anything? No, He created Earth first. Now think about this for a minute. Earth was created before the sun and the moon and the stars. And why were they created? To bring light on the earth, to show us the times and seasons. Christ lived here on earth, the Bethlehem, Star of Bethlehem, everything, Jesus, and the Shekinah glory, and God living in Jerusalem in the tent with Moses, the Shekinah glory, God giving the commandments and all these kinds of things. So if God gave the commandments and you're supposed to live by those, and by every word of God, that is, and He also gave them the chronological order of the creation story in the book of Genesis. So you're trying to say that if that's not true, you're just going to say, well, maybe the Ten Commandments aren't true either. No, that's not true. God gave us a blueprint of what we're supposed to be living and believing in. So they're saying now, and they got these telescopes, we go out there, now we see things more, and we can understand, and we changed all our theories again, so they can trap you in the next 100 years of some other cockamamie story. Just because they could see what it is doesn't mean they know what it is. Do they really? I don't think so. They don't know what that is any more than the man in the moon, if you want to say, go that far. So when the lights of heaven were turned on by command, there's no waiting 13 billion years. We're seeing new light now from 13 billion years. And no, you're not. You're not seeing any new light. That light's always been there. This is ridiculous. It's a ridiculous scientific thing when you think you can explain time, space, the number of stars, and everything else because you got a doctorate in your science. No, you don't. The reason why you're faulty is because you don't include God in your scenario. Now, if you're including God in the things that I'm saying, then you're going to see that your toolbox in science is lacking. Your toolbox in the understanding of nature is lacking because you can't do the origins. That's missing. Man does not have the comprehension of time, space, the number of stars. He can make up all kinds of theories. He's smart. He can take good pictures. He has good technologies. He has good medical science. All these things are true, but that doesn't mean that science is your God. Science is not your God. Science is only a gift from God concerning the things that He made, and these things are fading away, and you're never going to find out all the things that you think you can do by saying science brought about science. No, science didn't bring about anything. The predisposition of how the animals mate, how they come about, how they take care of their young, whether they do or they don't. How does that happen all of a sudden? Oh, just get up and walk away and do whatever. No, those animals have a predisposition built into them. Birds fly south. A lot of different things. How does a grain of corn, that's a dead seed fall on the ground and then bring about life? That's because it's a pre-existing life. And even though you could alter it, you're not going to create new life. And I've been over this over and over and over. Oh, let's go to Mars and find water because some comet brought water to the earth. And that's how we all came about over billions and billions of years. And yet God said, oh, we're only going to make a short work on this place. And that's what He did. The earth is a short work and we're fading away. And that's just the way it is. So the whole idea of, you're going to go to another planet and live, and you're going to do this, that, and the other. If you did, and you might be able to go to the moon and live there for a while, but you're taking the things of Mother Earth. This is the place that God gave you. Why do I give these talks? Because science is going to take you further and further away from God. And that's exactly what the scientific community is doing. They can't claim God. If they did, are they going to claim the Bible? Oh, it's true. Then why aren't they listening to what God says in His Word? They're not going to do that. They had the scientific community said that there was an intelligent design in outer space, and that got defunct. And then all of a sudden, what's happening in our beautiful state, our Christian country of the United States of America, think about that for a minute. Every country that ever came here, Spain, England, France, Germany, whatever, they planted their flags here in the name of their God. Whose God was that? That was the Christian God. The people that lived here were Christians. When the founding fathers of the United States in the Declaration of Independence, endowed by the Creator, whose Creator is that? Some other kind of God they're making up? No. Did they swear on the Bible in all three branches of our country? Legislation, the judicial, and the executive office, to take the oath to uphold the laws of the land, which was all based on the Ten Commandments. And then all these lawyers come along years later. Oh, this can't be right. Oh, we're going to decriminalize all this stuff and make everything under the sun that was good. Nation that doesn't serve God is not going to last. United States of America, you want it to last? You better get up and you better start taking notes, voting these people out of office that are so wrong in their beliefs, how they're taking over academia and everything else. It's a tragedy in our country. So again, no natural selection. Oh, no, there is nothing like that. It's silly. It's preposterous. even though you can take animals and things that have good genes in them, I suppose, to the extent that you might have some conclusion there, you know, in breeding and things like that. It doesn't mean that. It means that the best genes, if Adam was a better model than man today, he didn't come about and become better than Adam. Went over this over and over and over. Adam was a better model. He lived longer. We wouldn't have anything on Adam and his intelligence. In fact, he might have been smarter in a lot of ways. He wasn't introduced to the evils before the fall. So at any rate, he's more pure in his heart and everything else before God. And God created everything good. So the whole idea that a big meteor or something hit the earth and killed the dinosaurs, and it doesn't do that, because this is a good earth. So that's what I'm trying to tell you, that when God was done on the sixth day and rested, he looked at what he had done and he said it was good, very good. And that's where we live. We live in a good planet where we have erroneous fossil fuels. There's no such thing as a fossil fuel, but I've gone over that before. These things were all there for us, for the taking, for our benefit. But to use these things to the benefit to help the earth in the place that we live, because there is not going to be any other place that you're going to live. So at any rate, during these talks, I want you to realize that there's something else. The comfort of knowing that God loves you. He made you. He's in charge of this earth. Not the scientific community that's, oh, woe was us every other day with their telescope saying some other disastrous things happening. That's not true. It's the furthest thing from the facts. When those days, if they do come about, they're ordained of God, and that means that the world maybe is coming to an end to some degree. And it's talked about in prophecy, but it doesn't mean that God's out to get you or whatever. Your whole life should be living according to God. As a Christian, and I'm a Catholic, so I believe in the Catholic faith. That's the ultimate knowledge in faith that you can have, period. There's other Christians, but they get their Bible from the Catholic Bible. They've taken it or whatever, taken some of it out of it. They went off on their own and created their own religions. I'm a historian, not some kind of theologian. So I'm not here to say, oh, you're wrong, or you're no. I'm right on target for what's happened here on earth as a historian. So it doesn't matter. I'm not teaching you anything. This is the history that you're living in right now. So you should take that to heart, and you should try to learn from the things that I'm saying, and perhaps other people that are saying that are in the same vein. So don't let the scientific community take control of your mind, your life, and don't let the government and the scientific community they fall prey what your kids are going to learn, what you're going to hear, and all that kind of stuff. But anyway, I'll give other talks on why you're greater than AI or quantum AI. You're smarter than that. AI cannot come to the conclusions on the stuff that I espoused to you tonight. So with that in mind, I wish you peace. I wish you goodwill. And I hope to talk to you again. Thank you. Have a great evening.